I want to quickly talk about what exactly is a window function that we have been talking about in so many SQL coding problems so far. So what exactly is a window function and how it differentiates from a group by clause? So I'm going to read this definition here coming from the Postgres documentation. It states a window function performs a calculation across a set of table rows that are somehow related to the current row. This is comparable to the type of calculation that can be done with an aggregate function, aka group by clause. However, window functions do not cause rows to become grouped into a single output row like non-window aggregate calls would. Instead, the rows retain their separate identities. Behind the scenes, the window function is able to access more than just the current row of the query result. So what they're saying here is the group by clause, if you would have used a group by clause here, it would have grouped the rows. Let's say we were doing group by on department name and we're trying to find the average salary for every department. It would have grouped these 10 rows into 3 rows and it would have given us the answer, right? But sometimes you don't want that. You don't want the rows to be shrunk into less rows, and you want to keep the rows intact, and you just want to add a new column where you can see all of your data, and at the same time you can have that new aggregation. Okay, that's where window function comes in. I'm going to quickly show you on the Scratchpad difference between group by again and the window function. So this is a window function here. We are using this guy here. This specific piece here is the window function piece, and what's going on there is we are calculating average salary over. Whenever we use over, that means it's a window function. Partition by department name. So we have 3 departments here: develop, personnel, and sales. And we are doing a partition on that, and we are trying to calculate salary. So for develop partition, we have 5020 average, and for all the rows for develop, you will see that value, right? 5020, 5020, 5020, and so on, right? For personnel, 3700, 3700, sales, as you get the point, right? So that's what a window function is doing. And how does it differ from now, let's say, a group by clause? So let's say I run that same I run a group by on the same table here, and I want to see, hey, group by department name and do an aggregation on the average by that department name. So what's going to happen here is actually I'm going to get 3 rows. Why 3 rows? Because I have 3 departments: develop, personnel, and sales. And then I'm going to get the aggregation for that. So let's say the department name here is, this will be department name, this will be department name, right? And this will be the AVG, aka the aggregate, and this is a group by example for the same table. Department name, and in here we will have 3 rows. Okay, the first row is going to be for develop. This is going to be personnel. Okay, and this is going to be for sales. And we can have average here. This is going to be 5020. Okay, pardon my writing. 3700. And this is going to be 4866. Okay, so as you can see, the group by shrunk the 10 rows into 3 rows, and it gave us the aggregation. It has its benefits. It has at times that we will be needing this, but most of the time these days we are going with the window function, and we are keeping the rows intact, and we're just adding a new column there, average. So that's the difference between a window function and a group by. On to our problem. So in this question here, monthly sales rolling average, that's what they're asking. This question appeared in an Amazon interview, and they are asking, you have been asked to calculate the rolling average for book sales in 2022. A rolling average, we just looked at the regular average before in the example. In this question, they're asking a rolling average. So what exactly is a rolling average? A rolling average continuously updates a data set's average to include all data in the setup up to that point. For example, the rolling average for February would be calculated by adding the book sales from January and February and dividing by 2, because we have 2 months now, right? The rolling average for March would be calculated by adding the book sales for January, February, and March and dividing by 3, and so on. Output the month, the sales for that month, and an extra column containing the rolling average, rounded to the nearest whole number. So we have 2 tables here, Amazon books and book orders. As you can see in the Amazon books table, we have this book ID, and we also have the book ID in the book orders table. So that's how they're connected together, okay? Again, Amazon books table, this contains all the information about the books, and the second table here contains all the information about the purchase and sale of those books, okay? So how I'm going to approach this? I'm going to approach this by building this problem step by step. So the first thing that I'll do is, let's query the first table here. Select star from Amazon books, and let's run it. Again, we have book ID, book title, unit price, and let's do, you know what? Let's start with what they're asking. Output the month, the sales for that month, and an extra column contain the rolling average. So let's start with the month here. So we have order date here in this. Just gonna open this preview here. We have order date in the second table here, book orders. Order date has this kind of format. How can I extract this month from there? In Postgres, we can do that by doing extract. So select extract month from order date. But again, we are actually querying the Amazon books. This column is in the other table, right? So we will have to do an inner join on that table. So do inner join book orders, and let's alias this as BO, and let's alias this one as AB. So inner join on that. On what's the condition here? What are the columns that are common in those 2 tables? Book ID. Book ID is the one that connects those 2 tables together. So we're going to do on AB dot book ID equals BO dot book ID. So now we have those 2 tables connected. So now we can specify where it's coming from. It's coming from BO. Okay. And let's run it and let's see what we get. There you have it. So we have extracted the months from the order date. Order date was, by the way, a date time data type, and we extracted the month from it. So now we have the month. They were also asking sales for that month, right? How do you do sales for that month? What exactly is a sale? So sale is it's the quantity of the book sold times the unit price of that book. So if you look at it here, we have the unit price and the quantity of those books sold. So let's do unit prices coming from Amazon books table. So AB dot unit price, okay, times quantity, which is coming from BO. So BO dot quantity. Okay, so we have that. Let's run it and let's see what we get. Perfect. And you know what? Let's rename this as total sales, so we don't have that weird column name there. And as you can see, let's say for the month, the 12th month, which is December, the total sales were $50. Okay, so that's what we have here. I'm going to be doing a sort of a group by here. So because if we see here, you probably can't see, but you can actually. So we have multiple repetitions here. So for 11, for the month 11, which is November, I have a value here 25. Then I have a value here for the month November, again 100. I want to sum all those together, right? So that's where the group by will come in. So I will group by the month and I will do a sum on this. So I'm gonna do a total, which is sum, and let's do group by. You know what? You can do group by one. You can be, if you want to be descriptive, you can just copy this one here, and you can paste it in here. That's a lot of times more descriptive, but to make it more concise, let's just make it one here. So group by one, that means is this column, and we are doing aggregation on sum. So let's run it. And that's perfect. So now you can see for the month of November, we have added all those values together because of the sum here. And yeah, there you have it. It's interesting though, in this specific question, we have 2 years actually. We have year 2022 and year 2023. So how do I know that? So how do I know that is because if you do this, select star from book orders, and let's just run this, okay? So we have 2022, and I know there is a 2023 here as well. Yeah, there it is. So we have 2023 as well. But in this question, they are only asking us, you have been asked to calculate the rolling average for the book sales in the year 2022. So we'll have to exclude everything that's 2023 or some other year. So you can do a quick check here to see, select distinct, and let's do an extract year from order date from this table here. And as you can see, we have two years, 2023, 2022. So we only want the year 2022. So just gotta remove this here, and let's specify in our where clause. After it comes after the join, obviously. So where I'm gonna copy this here, and I'm gonna make this for the year. Where year equals 2022, and let's run this now. Perfect. And now we have all this data just for the year 2022. Okay, but we have one more thing missing. So we have 2 columns now, month, which is this extract. Let's name this as month here. This month, run this again. So we have this month here, we have the sales for that month. You want to be more descriptive, let's call it total sales per month. So we have the sales for the month, we have the month here, the total sales for the month. And we have an extra column containing the rolling average. We don't have that yet, right? So what I'm going to do here is, to make my life easier, I'm going to put all of this query into a CTE, so I can apply that window function after that. So let's make it with CTE1. That's very simple to make a CTE. Just do this, right? Put this into parentheses or these brackets, and then we're going to use that. So I'm going to do select star. Star means give me all the columns that we just talked about, or we just did, month and total sums per month. And then give me a new column, which is the rolling average. How do you do rolling average? Use the AVG function. We want the rolling average on the total sales per month. So total sales per month, and then over order by month. Okay, so order by month. And I'm going to show you what's going on here real quick. We gotta specify where are all these columns coming from. Total sales per month is coming from the CTE1, right? So CTE1, and let's run it. Okay, perfect. As you can see, the rolling average, we are doing an average on total sales per month over order by month. So this is ascending, obviously. So starting from the first month, total sales per month 145. Obviously the average is 145. For the second month, total sales per month is 250. Average is 250 plus 145 divided by 2 is 197.5. Again, in this for month 3, which is March, total sales per month is 315. 315 plus 250 plus 145 divided by 3, we get this value here. Let's see if this is the right solution. It's not. And it's interesting because in their official solution, they have these rounded values here. In my solution, these are not rounded. So let's do a round here. And they also ask this, right? And add an extra column containing the rolling average rounded to the nearest whole number. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to do a round on this. And let's see if that fixes that. It should fix that. Perfect. They're all rounded now. Let's run this again. And there you have it. That's the right solution.